Hello, welcome to this wildfire update from New Jersey, as well as this, the current conditions update, as well. The Jimmy's Waterhole fire is what it's called, and it has burned 3,800 acres right now. Latest from the New Jersey State Forest Fire Service is that we have the latest update here from the Forest Fire Service here, and that is that. It has made substantial progress in containing a wildfire in Manchester Township on federal, state, and private property, which has reached 3,859 acres in size and is 50% contained, so it's still burning. 20 structures remain threatened. All evacuations have been lifted. Tenants have or are currently returning to their homes. Last night, residents were relocated to the Manchester Township High School and were being supported by the American Red Cross, Manchester Township, Manchester EMS, Manchester Police Department, and Ocean County Sheriff's Department. And we still have some closures here. Horicon Avenue is closed, and Beckerville East Road and Beckerville West Road are closed. Route 539 and Route 70 have reopened. All right. So let's go to the maps here to show you. I don't have maps up here. I guess I don't have maps up here, so I thought I put them up here, but I guess not. Again, show you where the area is, and actually now it has got a marker on it. So this is where it started right here. It's called the Jimmy's Waterhole Fire. I don't know if that's where it started. I think it started more on 539, which is over here. It started more over here, my cousin's paintball. But it basically burned this whole area here that you see. Luckily, I think they were able to keep all the structures safe. This is the area they had to evacuate last night. I showed you part of it, but then they added this area, which I was saying that they were going to have to do between Division Street and Myrtle Street in Lakehurst proper. That had to be evacuated as well as Horicon Avenue. We already showed that whole area there. And this is the area, again, that looks like that everybody's safe. So this whole area looks like it has been protected, luckily. I do have fire lines and stuff. You can see this is the area that was involved here. You can see it's very, very beautiful. Lots of pines here. Very, very piney, as you can see. And there's also a major, looks like, well, not major, but one of JCP&L's many 34.5 kilovolt circuits. Looked like that didn't get affected because I didn't see any power outages over here last night when I was looking. And you can see a beautiful area here. Lots of pines. You can see it just absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, yeah, look at all these beauties here. But anyway, let's go to the latest story. News 12 New Jersey also reported on this, and they actually spent nearly 4 minutes on it. So let's play that video for you.
We have been following breaking news out of Ocean County all morning with this massive, fast-moving wildfire that started overnight. The flames engulfed over an estimated 2,500 acres so far.
And here's a look at what the area looks like now. As you can see, the flames have died down. There has been progress made, but firefighters have still been washing down some of those hot spots when necessary. Give you a closer look at the area affected in this map.
It's in News 12 New Jersey, so much better than our News 12.
They've seen heavy
like regular
ash
people
throughout the morning.
We have team coverage. News 12 New Jersey's Jim Murdoch is in Manchester at a senior community where the smoky haze lingers right now.
And News 12 New Jersey's Lauren Dew is in Lakehurst following
She used to be part. I think she used to be with
Lauren,
News 12 Long Island. This woman.
There.
Well, Tony, it definitely looks a whole lot
Jersey.
better than where we were last night. We actually have some of the neighbors because everyone just wants to come out. But first of all, just obviously behind me, Scott, let's just show the damage.
Oh,
right?
that's
so this
the area
does not
where
look
I just
good.
showed
This is
you.
all charred, totally charred. I mean, just completely burnt to the ground. You can even see how high the flames were going. Look at the difference of the trees there. You can see some lighter shades of the tree, and then it looks like everything is just burnt down
They'll
to the
come
ground.
back just
Flames
fine,
went
though.
this high, and Scott, pan back around, please, and you could just see how close this is to
Wow,
the
it
neighbor
got
here.
really
So
close.
obviously, really scary. And we have Brittany. You live here. You saw the flames last night.
Yeah.
You heard all the knocking. I mean, what was going through your mind last night?
Honestly, it was scary. We were worried that the fire would jump over onto, these people's front lawns. And, our neighbor across the street is a firefighter, and he was saying, if they wouldn't have started to burn it now, it would have definitely took out this whole
Yeah,
street.
and we have video
That's why
actually, and
control
that's the
burns
kind
are
of, we're
important.
waiting to get an update from fire officials to see what exactly was going on, but everyone's talking about this controlled burn, and we're playing the video right now. It's very loud, actually. The controlled burn, so what they did is, you know, they burnt the front section, right, and then so they could push the fire back.
Push it back to where from where it started, yeah. But it was crazy because when I was on my way home from work, you know, it was still down further into whatever other town it was, and then
Yeah,
by the
Manchester.
time I got home and was in bed, my mom was knocking on my door and said, you know, the street's on fire. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you grab anything?
Yeah, I grabbed a bag of clothes and my dog, you know, just prayed for the best, hoped for the best, and that was it.
Well,
Well,
obviously
God
your
they were
prayers
able to
worked
save
and
that
hoping
neighborhood.
worked, right? Because everything is still good. What time did you come back home?
I ended up going to my father's house. I just got back home at 7 a.m. They came back at like 5 because that was when the happened. Yeah.
Right, from Lakehurst Police. And we have more neighbors here. Look at this. We got a crew on bicycles, and we have a couple that's been watching all morning. You've been waiting for us to get updates. And we're waiting for fire officials to get an update, right? Because we know 2,500 acres have burned. That's what they're telling us. 10%
What's the
contained
latest
at
is
last
35.
check. What do you think?
I hope they contain it soon. We live a block over, 2 houses in. They knocked on the door last night, sent us out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're wearing a mask too, right?
I'm wearing a mask only because of the smoke, not because of the pandemic or anything like that. I just, the breathing it in has been,
Yeah, I can
from
be
last
careful,
night,
yeah.
breathing it in has been kind of bothering me a little bit.
Yeah, and just Scott, pan up.
Everything right now seems to be a bit clearer now.
Right, and look at the sun. Look how smoky that looks. I mean, it's just an incredibly smoky morning here. So you got people wearing masks, walking around, but at least they're coming back to their homes this morning. Now we're going to head over to Manchester. That's where Jim Murdoch is. And Jim, you were saying that you were in touch with environmental officials, and they say to run those air purifiers, keep your windows shut. What else are they telling you?
All right, so they even have it more, but that's all. They even covered more of it, so we'll have to see. They probably have another section of it. Let's see if we can. All right, so this is. I don't know where the rest of that story is. Oh, this is it here. Ocean County offered tips to keep. All right, we're not going to play that part, but see, multiple fires, including 2 wildfires in New Jersey as well. So.
Wildfire season across the state. We're taking a look at a map now. Fires that have popped up within the last 24 hours.
2 of them, wildfires, dry air and wind, making conditions perfect
I don't know
for
why
hot
Long
spots
Island isn't having
and
any
making a lot of
wildfires.
work for firefighters. All the locations pinned right here on this map on your screen. Brush fires in Upper Township, Cape May County at a campground, plus 1 near Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. In Manchester Township, another at Teaneck Creek Conservancy, and of course, a fire in Jersey City as well.
An investigation happening right now on that massive paper recycling company fire. Dozens of crews working throughout the night to get the situation under control. Fortunately, no one was injured.
And at least 14 fire departments assisted the Teaneck Fire Department when this brush fire popped up south of DeGraw Avenue between Route 95 and Teaneck Road last night. Despite heavy winds, the flames were contained with crews staying through the night to put out any hot spots.
And that brush fire in Cape May County spread flames across 1.5 acres of campgrounds in Upper Township after multiple camper vans went up in flames at that private campground in Ocean View.
And in Brick Township, a helicopter carrying water and dumping it on this large brush fire. This happened near Alameda and East Coral Drive. Some residents living nearby were evacuated. Luckily, no one was hurt.
So, yeah, great job by News 12 New Jersey. You know, our News 12, well, they're not even talking about it. They're just talking about the usual stuff that they talk about. But anyway, let's look at, let's see, we can get a few more stories here on this fire here. So 3,800 still burning in Manchester, no homes damaged. Luckily, look at that. A church off Beckerville Road. Luckily, they were able to save that. Incredible. Looking at these pictures here. That's what it looked like, I think, today. So it looks like a lot better. You can see they're taking water out of Lake Horicon. So it says more than 3,850 acres of forest have burned in a wildfire that's ripped through the Pine Barrens and was still burning in Manchester Township. Wind and dry conditions hampered efforts to slow the fire, which is 50% contained. No homes have been damaged, and there have been no injuries from the fire, which authorities said had the potential to be catastrophic because of its proximity to homes, including nearby age-restricted communities where embers were being carried by the wind. There were 170 homes evacuated late Tuesday night, 70 in Manchester and 100 in Lakehurst. 60 people went to take shelter at the Manchester Township High School, but they were able to go home between 3 and 4 a.m. as the danger eased. Authorities do not expect additional evacuations. And you could see there's some embers that were carried by the wind. That's incredible. Route 70 and Route 39, which have been shut down in the early stages of the fire, have been reopened to traffic, but Beckerville Road and Horicon Avenue remain closed to traffic. Assistant District Fire Warden Trevor Rayner said initially firefighters hoped to contain the fire at Route 539, but it quickly jumped the road and spread. The fire had burned about 500 acres by 9:45 p.m., but McLaughlin said it ramped up quickly late Tuesday night because of the existing conditions. There are parts of the terrain in that area that have lighter levels of fuel and some water sources that slowed the fire down. But between 9:45 p.m. and the evacuation orders at 11 p.m., the fire hit heavy fuel, where he said the vast amounts of dry pine needles, leaves, and underbrush added. So the heat from the fire added to its rapid spread. The fire was moving at about 4.5 miles an hour, which is speedy for a wildfire. See video of the rapid change in fire below. It essentially preheats the fuel nearby, which makes it catch fire more quickly. The rapid spread forced authorities to act quickly in order to order the evacuations. We did the reverse 9/11, and there was a horse farm with about 30 to 40 horses that had to be evacuated as well. Although it was not that evacuated as well, but it was not in the mandatory evacuation zone. Many people were packing up when we knocked on their doors. The Manchester fire, which spread into part of the Joint Base McGuire Lakehurst, was one of at least 15 fires on New Jersey. Now they're saying there were 15 in New Jersey. And fire officials say they have increased staffing, monitoring by air from fire towers and trucks making patrols in fire risk areas to try to quickly address any fires that arise. McLaughlin said the fire was named for the initial area where firefighters were trying to contain the blaze, known as the Jimmy's Watering Hole. Volunteer fire companies from all over Ocean County assisted with protecting homes. The Forest Fire Service was using planes and helicopters to drop water from the fire on the fire as part of the suppression efforts. Looks like we do have a video I can share with you later. Hankers, who is a longtime firefighter in Manchester, Hankins said that the coordination among all the fire companies and organizations was seamless. So luckily they did a good job getting this out. And this is the map right here. You can see where it started and where it went to. It looks like it went all the way down to this whole area here. Right to where they stopped it right at the town. That's a miracle. Luckily it did not damage any of the town or even the power infrastructure, which is pretty amazing. But there you go. This whole area here was affected. So if we look at the map here, luckily this is fine. These pines are fine. Well, like I said, this is going to come back. I saw, so this is the area that was affected right here, up and down this road, this Pine Barrens area right here. And they, from what I saw in the video, they will come back just fine. Some of the bigger trees that cry, the Pine Barrens are extremely resilient, and like I said, kind of need fire to survive. What's amazing to me is that they were able to protect this power line here and keep the fire from getting to that power line, which is pretty amazing. Unless JCP Noahs are able to shut that power line down and reroute the power. But generally to the left of this is where the fire burned. And then we go over here, so it went all the way up here, and then it went to here too. Luckily they had this looks like a cranberry bog or something, so it's probably, this area of water probably helped stop it from also spreading, so they were able to set up a line and stop it right here. But it generally burned this whole area here, and this is part of the joint base as well. This general area is the area that was involved in this fire. And there's Cousins Paintball, and this is where it started, right around this area. They call it Jimmy's Watering Hole. I don't know where that is on the map, but this is where it started. So right over here is where it started, by Cousins Paintball, New Jersey. And you can see this area here. A lot of oaks, actually, so the fire did this area a favor, probably. Keeping the health of the Pine Barrens, Luckily, this fire, as horrible as it was, no structures were destroyed. It just generally just burned in the Pine Barrens. It stayed in the Pine Barrens, and that's, where it belonged. It didn't hurt any structures. And, the Pine Barrens will come back from this in New Jersey. I'm sure that they will in this area. But anyway, let's talk about the weather going on right now because, I do not know why we don't have a red flag warning out there. When we look at some of these observations, you'll see absolutely no sea breeze anywhere. We have temperatures already up to 80. Look at JFK, 81, dew point 43, west-northwest wind at 18, gusting to 24 miles an hour. So already seeing those conditions. Look at the ice slip, 77 degrees, northwest wind at 16, gusting to 24, low humidity, and we really don't even have barely any clouds. Whatever clouds we had are gone. And very low humidity out there. Let me get back to the weather here. So very low humidity out there, and very warm. Temperatures already near 80 degrees. We broke the record at ice slip yesterday, and we're going to break it again today. Look at this. So we have a gust up to 37 miles an hour being reported. So these are some pretty strong wind gusts. This is as favorable as it's been for a wildfire on Long Island for quite some time. If we look at New Jersey, just as hot there. Like I said, pretty much it's like we're in Jersey right now. 81, same kind of conditions that we're dealing with. And I do not know why there's no red flag warning in effect. Lastly, we'll go to the Central Pine Barrens thing, and you'll see the fire danger rating is high. All right, so if you can see that on the top there, it is high. I'll make this a little bit so you can see that there. It is high. So that is a concern for sure. And I haven't heard about any wildfires, but maybe there are some wildfires going on in Long Island. We just don't know about them. And I will I fully expect there to be some major wildfires in Long Island Pine Barrens over the next day or two. And let's just hope that nobody gets hurt in the process. We just want them to burn in the Pine Barrens and not, hurt anyone else. So that's going to be it for this weather and fire and weather update. And just it's hot out there, and this is unheard of in April to see this kind of heat. Unheard of.